Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
Rajivji, I think we can start. It's 11 o'clock, so we're live.
Let us start 11 o'clock. Swamiji, let us start with the prayer. Probably you can chant a prayer. We can also.
So we can start with Sahana Vavatu.
Yeah.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Swamiji, you reminded last Sunday's conversation that a particular question which was asked by Surendran Chetan, and you asked us to remind you on this session as well to ask that question, and you can elaborate that answers in English as well. That was, he asked two questions. Number one was, what should we do in this pandemic times to complete our rituals? In many times we need to have our own rituals and our own acharas on different aspects. When somebody dies, somebody, what is the protocol at this point, and what is the takeaway lesson, what is the message to common people? That was the question he was asked in Malayalam the last session. So you ask us to remind you about that question so that you can elaborate that in English.
Yeah. Are you hearing well? Is the audio quality right?
Yes, Swamiji, it's clear.
So, every religion have their own rituals in connection with birth, death, and of course marriage. We Hindus have elaborate rituals, and that is in two parts. One, which we are doing immediate to the death. That will last for, in some cases, 10 days, in some places and for some classes, 11, and for some others, 16 days. In different ways, we are doing that. And after that, annually, on the Tithi, in all other places, and on the Nakshatra in Kerala. That is the difference. In Kerala, we are observing mainly based on Nakshatra, whereas in all other places, we are observing based on Tithi. Shraddhas. And more or less similar customs or rituals are there for almost all religions. The question was, in an epidemic situation, we cannot do or we cannot observe all rites and rituals. It is not at all possible. Then what we will do? If we are not doing that at present, it will make a sort of prick of conscience within us. And for them, that is the departed, what will be their, how will be their path forward. So practically what we will do in these like situations. This was the question. Everybody knows in an epidemic situation like this, we cannot do the rituals as we should do. So what we can do is, according to the Abad Dharma, do everything now, or arrange to do. In some places, even personally doing is impossible. In some places, I don't know how it is there in America. In many places, even the relatives will not get the dead body, whereas the workers connected with the hospital and other service organizations, they will be cremating the body. So even the body, the relatives won't get in some places. And even the process of cremation, it also is entirely different from what we are doing according to our customs. So when this question is asked, I remembered a system which was followed by Hindus of Kerala. Whether it was prevalent in other places, I don't know, but in Kerala it was there. When the epidemic smallpox, it took the lives of many hundred thousands of people. In those days, when smallpox comes, all the members of the family, of course relatives, everybody will get out of the home and the ailing person will be there. And for 3 or 4 houses, one man will be in charge of looking after all these patients. And smallpox means death. There is no other meaning for that in those days especially. And when this death occurs, without any rituals, without any rites, these people who looked after them, or in some cases, who killed them, that also we have to add. They will handle the dead body somehow, and without cremation, rituals, they will just dump it under the ground. So after the epidemic goes and the situation turns to normal, the relatives who are surviving will come back. They will have that much pain within, that much prick of conscience within. And what they will do, with the help of priest, they will install the departed as the deity itself. That deity in Malayalam is called Bhandaramurti. Bhandaramurti. In Malayalam, when somebody curses some others, there is a saying, Pandaradaki pote. Let you be killed by smallpox. That is the meaning. So they installed as a deity, and the temple will construct it, And this departed will be worshipped forever. Generation after generation, all the family members will worship that departed. So instead of offering karmas for 16 days, whole life, he or she will be worshipped. So this system is not practical nowadays. And this system is not at all acceptable to other religions. But we have to imbibe the sense with it. That is, we are worshipping the departed. Oh, my father, oh, my mother, I couldn't do your last rituals on time. Please pardon me. And I am worshipping you as God, or I am worshipping you in the form of God. So that bhava, everybody can have. There is no any limitation imposed by any religious sentiments or religions. Anybody and everybody can have that feeling with it towards those who have departed. And we can worship them as God himself. Those religions which are not accepting that view, they can do good deeds as per the injunctions of their religion. This was the answer we have seen last Sunday, I think. Now, the condition in the US, it is very much alarming, and we are getting the news of thousands and thousands dying and many in sick beds. So it is our duty to reach out to all our friends, relatives, and those who are in distress in our town or the nearby places who are ailing through telephone or through other internet media. We have to reach out, reach to them. We have to pacify. We have to give strength to face anything in life. That boldness we must have. That is the first and best medicine, more than any chloroquine. More than any chloroquine, this is the medicine, that boldness with it. So, to cultivate that in our society, we must strive. This is not at all a time we are locked down. This is a time to reach out to the society through whichever means we can, not physically. So this is the answer, and I think this is not an occasion for a lecture. So whatever you want to ask, you can ask. If I know the answer, I will answer.
The next question go to Ms. Monja. You can ask that question. You can unmute yourself and you can ask.
Hari Om.
Namaste.
I would like to ask, could you share more information about the 108 days course that you mentioned last Saturday? You said it was postponed to July. Is there some information what it entails, and if anyone can participate in it, that would be great.
Yeah. Actually, as I told the last week, it is not a program of Advaita Ashram. All ashrams came together and Rashtriya Swayamsevaka Sangha, RSS, and of course a family member of RSS, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and all ashrams came together. Shivagiri Math, Tirthapada Ashramam, Mata Amradanandamayi Math, Art of Living, Sambodh Foundation, Ramakrishna, Chinmaya, all ashrams. And so many scholars are there who are not members of these ashrams. Such scholars also came. And after many meetings together, we have formed a trust and discussed about the syllabus, how the classes should be. All these aspects were discussed in detail. And actually it was decided to start the course on April 28. But because of this COVID-19 and the lockdown and all, now it is impossible. And we are planning to start in the month of July. But what will happen, how the situation will be, and what about the practical aspects of that, we do not know. So if something happens, or we will have to postpone it more on. But however, the course will happen. And what our wish is, after completing the first level of course, this is only a first level, then again they have to learn. Again they have to learn. So after this first level, they have to work for our society, Hindu society, especially in colleges, in higher secondary schools, wherever they can, to dehypnotize our youngsters. That is the urgent need of the day. Because our youngsters are living as if they are hypnotized, without knowing what they are doing, how great a legacy is there for us. So that is the urgent need of the day. Of course, all ashrams are doing, Sangha is doing, but we have to reach to the society. So for that, colleges, higher secondary schools, and wherever we can, they have to work at least for 2 years. It is not a bond, but they are supposed to work 2 years. And of course, during that period, some honorarium have to be paid because they have to meet their expenses. Not a big amount, but a simple for their personal expenses. Such an honorarium must be given. That is the present plan. And I am thanking you for your eagerness, but at the same time, let me say this course will be in Malayalam. that will not be in English, that will be in Malayalam. Then you may think Swami could have said that in the beginning itself. Then there is no chance for all this explanation. Others will not know that. So that is why I kept the last. This will be in Malayalam. Yes. Namaste, namaste.
Sudhirji, your question?
Yeah, Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaste.
I think this is a continuation of the question I last week and the previous question about the classes being started in July. Can you provide the contact information for reaching, where is this conducted, and who should we contact?
Yes, of course. Anybody interested to join,
Yes.
they can contact either the ashram. The
Okay.
address of the ashram is Advaita Ashramam,
Yeah.
Kolattur 673315, or Samanvaya Charitable Trust. You can write down Samanvaya Charitable Trust, Rashtra Chetana.
Yeah.
Ullepadi.
Ullepadi. Okay.
Ernakulam.
Is there who is the lead person? Is there a name or Swami? I can contact Swamiji?
This is sufficient.
Okay.
You know A.R. Mohanji, you know?
I heard, but I'm not personally.
He is in charge of the Vishwa Vibhag of RSS.
Okay. Yes, I will find out. No problem. Yeah.
I can share you, Sudhirji. I can share.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
The secretary of the trust.
Yeah.
Swami Chidananda Puri is the chairman, and our T.P. Sankumar is the managing trustee.
Okay. Thank you, Swamiji. I have another question related to Hinduism. So in Hinduism, we have the Vedas and Upanishads, but later came Tantra Shastra and Mantra Shastra. So how are these related? I believe Tantra Shastra came much later than the Upanishads. Is there any connections between these two?
See, Veda is the very base of Sanatana Dharma. As is said by Manu in his Smriti, Vedokhilo Dharma Moolam. Akhilaha Vedaha. That means the complete Veda is the Dharma Moolam, is the very base of, or the very root of Dharma. And by the term Veda, not a textbook is meant. There are thousands and thousands of textbooks in many divisions like Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad. All these four are integral part of Veda. So we need not say Veda and Upanishad. It will be saying like a man and his head. Head is an integral part of body. In the same way, Upanishads are integral part of Veda. And as the appendices of this Veda, there are Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, Sthapatya Veda, and Artha Veda. And as limbs of Veda, there are Shiksha, Kalpam, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandaha, Jyotisham. All these Shastras, if we are going inside, it will be like an ocean of Shastras. It's an ocean. There is no doubt. And to explain the intricacies of these teachings to the common people, using many stories and the biographies, came into existence Puranas and Itihasas. Itihasas are mainly based on biographies of great personages. Puranas are mainly stories. So these are Veda and Vaidika. And along with that, let me repeat, along with that, developed so many Shastras concerned with Upasanas. to make our own mind more and more pure, to make our own intellect more and more sharper, and help us go deep into the study of Vedas. In that branch, there stands all Tantra Shastras. All Tantra Shastras. So Tantra cannot be separated from Veda. Veda cannot be separated from Tantra. Both are staying like two branches of the same tree. And within Tantra itself, there are three main divisions: Vaishnava, Shakteya, and Shaiva. These three divisions are there. And within Shakteya itself, there are again two divisions, which are roughly called Agama and Nigama. One, Parameshwara explains to Parvati, the other, Parvati explains to Parameshwara. And see, Mantra Shastra is actually not a written Shastra. Mantra Shastra developed from generation to generation through the Upadeshas of Gurus. It is rather a secret Shastra. But nowadays, all Mantra Shastras are in printed form, we can get. Now these are printed. But actually Mantra Shastra were not printed. Through oral Upadeshas, they existed. And we cannot put any limit to Mantra Shastras. Many traditions are there. Many traditions. We will wonder if we are looking into Mantra Shastras. I think you got a bird's view, like a vision. To study deeper, you have to go inside and study. Yes. Namaste.
Next question, Sunil. Sunil.
Yes. Hi, Swamiji. Hari Om. Thank you for your time. My question is, how do you assess or retrospect Jesus Christ as an individual who probably have unconditionally served 70% of his life he spent with sinners? And to an extent, he probably have used a lot of our dharmic values, perhaps many lessons indirectly or directly he learned from Gitas he may have used. But how do you retrospect his life to humanity with the 3 years he may have spent until 33? If you could share some thoughts and lights on that without getting into too much politically incorrect views or whatever, but if you could share some thoughts, that would be helpful. Thank you.
So, you are asking rather a personal question, and it's all right. All right, I can answer. The first thing is, we do not know much about the life of Jesus Christ. But that part we know. That part of the life of Jesus Christ which we are getting through New Testament, there are 4 books, that of John, Luke, Mark, and Matthew's. Through these 4 books, we are getting the life of a vague picture of Jesus Christ's life. There also a small part is narrated, because when Jesus Christ was a small boy, with his family he went to a synagogue, and somehow he missed And thereafter we are seeing Jesus Christ with a long beard, wearing single cloth, that of sannyasins, and teaching. What he was teaching, as far as we know, the whole teaching of Jesus Christ is nothing but Vedanta. It is pure Vedanta. That Christ whom we are seeing through these 4 books, I am respecting, I am worshipping, always, with all my acharyas, with all our acharyas, without any doubt, we can put Jesus Christ. There is no doubt in that. There is no doubt. And as you asked a personal question, let me tell some more personal matter. When I started living the life of a mendicant, that is before accepting sannyasa diksha, when I left home, with me there were 3 books, only 3 books. One is Bhagavad Gita, one is a book of 28 Upanishads, and the other was New Testament. That means daily I used to read all this. So you can imagine the respect or that worshipful bhava I have within towards Jesus. But that Jesus may not be the same as Christianity teaches nowadays. Because I am seeing a notion of difference between Christ and Christianity. Not a small difference. And I personally believe Jesus Christ, he learned from some gurus in the tradition of Vedanta. This is not just an assumption. We can prove how, when he was a small boy, his family missed it. Where he was thereafter, there is no reference. There is no reference. Only one reference is there, but it is not at all adequate. That once he was debating with the scholars, that reference is there in one book. In no other book, no reference of Jesus is there. But we are seeing with a long beard, let it be there. The other is single cloth, eka vastra. That is the cloth of sannyasins. And what he was teaching, pure Vedanta. Pure Vedanta. Without studying Vedanta, one cannot understand the teaching of Jesus Christ. I am saying the teaching of Jesus Christ, not the apostles. He didn't establish Christianity. Christianity was established by Saint Paul. Saint Paul established Christianity, not Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ never established any religion. He was a Vedanti. He was above all this. Of course, he had many siddhis. Many siddhis he had. But he was not blind with his siddhis. So he was a scholar. And I am respecting him. That is the answer in clear words.
Srijit?
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, as we all know, most of the Hindu families, they don't go to temple regularly, or we don't do prayers on daily basis at home. And especially in this quarantine life, like people are not going to temple for 2 to 3 months. So what will happen? Our communities, like our beliefs are getting reduced, especially to the young generation. So what's the advice to the Hindu families?
See, we are living in houses. If you are calling yourself as a Hindu, there must be a place for your worship, or your pujas, or your prayers, or your meditation, whatever it is. Why I am saying so? Everybody may not be praying. Some may like praying, some may not. Some may be chanting some mantras. Some may be doing yogasanas and all. Whatever practice, there must be a place in our home, especially for that. In all our houses, we used to keep a puja muri separately. It is the temple in our home. It is a temple. It is a temple of that family. In earlier days, see, nowadays, some may ask, who is the head of the family? Then one man will say, I am the head of the family. And after some years, we will inquire, where is the head of the family? No. My father has died. Now I am the head of the family. So generation after generation, head changes. But it was not the custom in the Vedic law. There the head of the family was fire god. That is Garhapati Agni. The name of that Agni is Garhapati Agni. You see, you may be knowing about our Shodasha Samskaras. On the same day of our marriage, the same day, there is another Samskara, that is Grihasthashrama Pravesha Samskara. Both the Samskara must be conducted on the same day. That is, the newly married couple will come to the home, and parents will welcome them, pouring some rice and paddy and some flowers on their head, and of course giving them milk mixed with honey to drink. And after drinking that, not a full glass, only one spoon. After drinking that, they will prostrate before parents, and they will have to go inside the home, and they will have to prostrate the head of the family. Who is that? That is the fire, Gargavati Agni. And there is a formal taking of oath, that is swearing. We will protect you. In turn, you must protect us. So, in the Vedic legacy, this was the custom. Somehow, the system, there was so much watering happened, and this Gargavati Agni is not there in all home. But there will be a puja muri, a puja room, a room for worshipping God. If we cannot separately keep one room, at least in our house, a corner must be kept for that. If we cannot even provide or keep one corner, somewhere in the room, there must be a place, at least a stand and a place to light the lamp, and some photograph or pictures which will give us a divine feeling. if we have space, we must keep one puja room. It's a must. So there is no problem for us if we are not going to temples. It is not mandatory that you must go to temple every day. No. But you must worship every day. This our father, our mother must show to our children. Worshipping without failing from our home. That we must do, and we must show to the next generation. That is the answer. Namaste.
Smithaji.
Thank you, Madhuji. Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaste. I find Swamiji such a role model in our community. It's really, I sometimes get overwhelmed when I hear Swamiji talk. I just want to say that. Thank you so much.
No.
And I'm I was saying that Swamiji is such a role model for our community, and your presence and Swamiji's talks are very overwhelming to me, and I'm very touched with Swamiji's heartfelt talks, many talks just on your social media, and Swamiji taking the time to come to us personally to answer us. I feel so grateful. So my question is, I would like to know the reason what inspired Swamiji to take up this journey of sannyas and follow your mission and make your life's mission Vedanta and to teach to all of us?
If we see, everybody came with a bundle of samskara. Nobody came with a blank paper to this world. Everybody is coming with a samskara of previous lives. And with what we came here, we are continuing that. This life is just like writing an account book. Opening balance will be there. To that will be added debit and credit, and we will arrive at the closing balance. This will be the opening balance for the next period. So, birth after birth repeats. And see, at a certain age in our life, we will get that connection. There is no doubt in that. We will get that connection with the previous samskara, and that is how our life is going. Nobody is an exception here. So, one who came with that samskara, as a natural development, this happens in life. In the case of myself also, the same is the answer. It was a natural development. It was a natural growth. See, when I was a small child of 4 or 4.5 years or 5 years, when mother asked to do some work, you do that, you take that, you bring that, like that, some work, tiny works. If this boy says, no, I cannot, then his father, he would ask, why? Is it Brahma Vidya? Why can't you do that? So this was there for many years. And when I was a boy of 5 or 6 years age, I was thinking, what is this Brahma Vidya? I do not know what is Brahma Vidya. But father is repeating that. Is it Brahma Vidya that you cannot do? However, this is something higher, and it is not an easy job. It is something higher, and it is not an easy job. So when I will do that. I will learn that. If it is that much tough, I will study that. Actually, that boy do not know what Brahma Vidya, and even his father do not know that. But he was simply saying. So that was in mind. I will study Brahma Vidya. I will study Brahma Vidya without knowing what Brahma Vidya is. And years passed. I forgot all this. Everything about Brahma Vidya I forgot. But of this life. And what is the cause of this universe? Who is controlling everything? These were the questions. Always these were with it. And that questions, actually, I was taken to so many experiments, studying scientific books. When I was a small boy, in 7th classes, there was a laboratory in the house. Wherever we go, I will be carrying 2 boxes of acids, alkalis. But somehow that also changed. When I was a student of that interest, it entered to so many arts, stories, novels, this, that. And slowly that transformation came. And you know, when I was a student of first pre-degree class, that is 11th, the same father who asked me, why, what is this? Why Brahma Vidya? That father gave me a book. That was Thus Spake Swami Vivekananda. A small book. The value was 10 paise at that time. Thus Spake Swami Vivekananda. That boy repeatedly went through that again and again. If my memory is correct, in one sitting, 30 or 40 times went into that. And then felt I had to read the original. So I went to complete works of Swami Vivekananda. And slowly from there to the complete works of Sister Nivedita, then of Swami Ranganathanandaji, then Swami Chinmayanandaji. So all sorts of such books. And slowly went to attend the lectures of Swamis, Sannyasis, wherever possible. Anandaji, of Ranganathanandaji, like that. But reading all these books, there was a feeling within something was missing. In all these books, even if it is that of Swami Vivekananda or Chinmayanandaji, there is something missing. And what is that something? I was in that inquiry, and that took me to the study of Shankara Bhashyas. When I was a student of degree class, in the first year itself, started studying Bhashyas and almost completed all Bhashyas in 3 years. And in the first year itself decided my life is a sannyasa's life. So, to be frank, It was a natural growth. Then asked permission to parents. They were not ready to give the permission. Instead, and go. So I lived with them and showed them what is the life of a sannyasi. And actually it was sadhana life. And they realized this boy will go today or tomorrow. So they accepted that. The exit. And you know, one more secret I am saying, when I was a student of degree classes, of course I was studying this Bhashya and all, but outwardly nobody was knowing that. Outwardly I was behaving like any other boys in the college, any other boys, nothing special. When the professor asks any question, the same time this boy will have the answer for that. And you know, in cost accounting, so many job sheets are there, job sheets. So as and when he draws this boy will have the answer. But a time came when I couldn't add 2 digits. Even 2 digits I cannot add. Because the mind was fully immersed in one. So I realized this is the time to exit. So started a wandering life and wandered here and there. And of course joined some ashrams and found it is not suitable for my sadhana. And again went out of that ashrams. Life. And I reached Gujarat, Madhavananda Ashram from Uttarakashi. Uttarakashi reached Ahmedabad. And in 1989, accepted Sannyasa Diksha from Kailas Ashram. And the drama is going on. This is in a nutshell. To explain, we have to sit for many, many, many days.
Thank you. Rakhuji.
Namaste. Namaste, Swami.
Namaste.
Raghuraman from UK.
Namaste, namaste.
My question is, can we influence our karma? Or if possible, how? Can we influence our karma?
I'm hearing. Of course we can influence. The karma we are having with us, we only cultivate. Nobody else gave us karma. What karma we are having today is the effect of our own actions in this life and previous lives. And so it is within our own power to influence that, to change that, to add and subtract. But see, we cannot escape the previous karma without experiencing. We have to pass through that. We have to experience that. Shastra prescribe only one thing which will help us to transcend karma, and that is jnana. Jnana, the fire of jnana will burn the whole repository of karma. Jnanagni sarva karma kurute tatha. So says Bhagavan in the Gita. So only through jnana all karma will be. But then the question again comes, if it is so, how an ordinary man without that Atma-jnana can influence his karma? See, when we are doing more and more virtues, satkarmas. The effects of our bad karmas will be diluted. It won't go. It will be there. But when they get diluted with our satkarmas, the effect will be we can easily pass through this life. It is just like, just imagine a mother giving some medicines to her. And that medicine is not at all taking that. He is resisting because of its taste. I won't take it. Then the mother, what she does, she adds that medicine, the quantity needed, two teaspoons of honey, and 2 teaspoons of water, and some sugar candy she adds, and with all happiness the child drinks that. There is a question. The quantity of medicine present? No. The quantity of medicine is there itself. But the child resistance, the child takes that medicine because the effect of honey, that sugar candy. So the quantity of that medicine is there itself, but because of the influence of other parts, it is not being felt. In the same way, our bad karma, bundle of bad karmas are there. It will be there. Na bhuktam karma kshiyate janma koti shataidapi. Without experiencing the effects, the karma won't go. But we can add, like honey and sugar candy, our satkarmas. Then what will happen? Child, we can experience easily. So, with our satkarmas, we can influence our bad karmas, even though they won't go. Real knowledge or realization of the self. I think you are clear. Is it clear?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
There is one more person in the queue, like Jayasri ji. So we have a couple of minutes left. If you want to make it quick, can.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
I have two questions. One I think is a solution for the first one, but I want you to tell what is the best for that. So one, do you have a course that, throughout this time, maybe for a few months of period that my children are in the teens and the youth, right? So I would prefer to have them some kind of online courses that if you provide from the ashram, because my older one also wanted to come and stay with you for a few months during the summer if everything was going well. And so if you have anything, please let us know, and if you don't have it, please plan on doing something so that they can join. This one I thought was a solution because we are into the 6th week, I think, of stay home, because kids were having their stay home and study online classes since I think the 2nd week of March. So usually somebody was asking, what do you do but we usually three days a week, we join the temple group to do the bhajana and all those things. We are trying the shaka, we have the e-shaka and the other the yoga, everything we are doing. But I think still there is something missing in the children. They are kind of a gloom or something. What do you think is your solution for that?
Where are the other children? I am seeing
There,
one.
two of them are here. One is not.
Yes, yes, two are. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't see more.
Smallest is going.
Yes,
Yeah, baby.
yes, yes. I saw now. I saw now. Yes. Actually, we don't have such. We are not at all conducting such online classes from ashram, and also are not there to conduct such online classes. But however, these children, I know they are going to Shakha, they are attending. And of course, I have heard some online classes are there conducted by Chinmaya Mission.
Okay.
In America itself, they are especially concentrating to those children who are born and brought up. So it will more easily, the children will enter their teaching, or that teaching will be digested by them.
Okay.
That Chinmaya Mission is conducting. So you can go for that if they are interested. He is smiling. Are you interested? Yes. Yes.
I think it is. Yeah. It is time to wind up today's session, I believe, Swamiji, and we have tomorrow the same time. Swamiji's QA session will be there 11 o'clock Eastern, but that would be in Malayalam. Those who can follow the Malayalam, definitely please be there. And thank you, Swamiji, on behalf of everyone. Swamiji, let's Shanti Mantra and let's conclude this.
Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti.